Well, per yesterday's Bible study, I left out the most important one. Um, Hebrews 12, 6 through 8, King James Version, Bible Gateway. Repentance, 6 through 8. They give me 6 space 2 8. The old AI. All right, for whom the Lord loveth, I thought he loved the whole world. No. We've been over that 1,000 times, though, haven't we? Uh, Jesus only came for the lost sheep of the house of Israel, Matthew 15:24. John 3:16 is a falsely translated word cosmos. For whom the Lord does love, he locks them down and beats, chastens and scourges every son whom he receiveth. And the Lord receiveth how? How? I'm glad you asked. Jesus said, this is how he receives his sheep. No man can come to me except the Father which have sent me draw him. I will raise him up on the last day. And he said, therefore, I said unto you that no man, this is just, X number of verses later, same chapter, John 6, 44 and 65. And Jesus said, therefore, I said unto you that no man can come unto me except it were given unto him of my Father. For whom the Lord loveth, he chastens and scourges every son whom he receiveth from the Father. If you endure this chastening, God dealeth with you as if you were one of his sons. For what son whom does not a real father not chasteneth? Right? Do not spare the rod to your children. Old Testament. Spare the rod, spoil the child is a popular saying, but where does it come from? Well, is it Proverbs 13:4? Whoever spares the rod hates their children, but the one who loves their children is careful to discipline them. Do not withhold discipline. He that spareth the rod hateth his son, but he that loveth him chasteneth him betimes. New Living. Those who love their children care enough to discipline them, was how that one ended. Those who spare the rod of discipline hate their children. Those who love their children care enough to discipline them. The Lord beats the world out of you. That's how your repentant process takes place. The Lord ordained your life from before the foundation of the world to where you're going to go through all these things that bring you to him. Nobody makes a free will decision because God's ordained everything from before the earth was even formed. If you endure this chastening, God's dealing with you as if you're one of his own sons. For what son whom a real father, a good solid father, doesn't chasteneth? But if you are without this love, or all of God's sheep are partakers, read between the lines, then are ye bastards and not sons. We're going to go from Mark 10 to 11 today. Oh man, I'm feeling very lazy. Bad stuff going on in personal life indirectly. So been a long day. When Jesus heard him, he stopped and said, tell him to come here. So they called the blind man. Cheer up, they said, come on over, he's calling you. Bartimaeus threw aside his coat, jumped up, and came to Jesus. What do you want me to do for you? Jesus asked. My rabbi, the blind man said, I want to see the truth, right? These are all parallels to what he does in us today. And Jesus said to him, go, for your faith has healed you. Instantly, the man could see, and he followed Jesus down the road. Jesus' triumphant entry. And Jesus and his disciples approached Jerusalem, and they came to the town of Bethphage and Bethany on the Mount of Olives. Jesus sent two of them ahead. Go into that village over there, he told them. As soon as you enter, you will see a young donkey there that no one has ever ridden. Untie it and bring it here. If anyone asked, what are you doing? Just say, the Lord needs it, and it will return, and will return it soon. The two disciples left and found the colt standing in the street, tied outside the front door. And as they were untying it, some bystanders demanded, what are you doing? Untying that coat. All right, Revelation 18. We're going to do 7 verses, which means they're pretty thick, and they are. We had one thin one there. Well, one really thin. After these things, I saw another angel come down from heaven, having great power, and the earth was lit with his glory. And he cried mightily with a strong voice, saying, Babylon, the great is fallen, and is become the habitation of devils, and the hold of every foul spirit, and cage of every unclean, hateful bird. For all the nations have drunk of the wine of the wrath of her fornication, and the kings of the earth have committed fornication with her, and the merchants of the earth are waxed rich through the abundance of her delicacies. And I heard another voice from heaven saying, come out of her, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached unto heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Reward her even as she rewarded you, and double unto her double according to her works. In the cup which she hath filled, fill to her double. How much she hath glorified herself and lived deliciously. So much torment and sorrow give her, for she saith in her heart, I sit a queen and am no widow, and shall see no sorrow. The reason why Notre Dame never joins a conference, people think everything's about money. No, everything in their world is a translation of their world in the spirit realm. Notre Dame stands for Our Lady. Notre Dame means Our Lady. Notre Dame is French for Our Lady. Lucifer. I sit a queen and am no widow. I shall see no sorrow. Notre Dame is not married to any conference. They stand alone. Our Lady. That's why they don't join a conference. I love you very much. Ask questions anytime. That's what I'm here for.